Hey guys, before we go racing, I want a quick shout out to Ernie Francis Jr. Both of you, we were watching on TV last night. You were there. How did our boy go?
You know, he had a rough outing. He got caught up in an incident, and the car was never the same after that, one of the qualifying runs. But I was fortunate enough to fly back with him last night, and he was in great spirits. I mean, people forget that was his third dirt race in his life, and he's racing with some of the best that ever did it. He's running a triple header this weekend with FR, Trans Am, and then, of course, the SRX race. And this kid is just special, and I'm so happy for him and his family. And you know, he's part of a special program with FR. Mark McAllister and his wife Alora, Future Star Racing. They fund diversity. Well, here we go. Let's watch this. This is Borchetta's out to the lead. Is no surprise there.
No surprise, but we've got a good battle going on behind him. As through goes that lovely painted Sky Blue 36. I love that car. And everybody safely through the first corner. Yes, Ernie Francis Jr. in action on CBS, currently in the SRX Champion, but also in our feature race today in TA coming up. We'll talk plenty more of Ernie Francis. Into the keyhole. Somebody's gone wide.
No, that's on purpose. This is Chris Zappa's home track.
What?
I think. Wait, no.
He went.
No, he went too far wide.
Yeah,
I see dust. That's Chris Zappa and that TVR Vixen, I believe. I thought he was just going the long way around.
He almost accelerated. That was almost like Rosenquist the other day at Detroit. Let's hope he doesn't hit the barrier too heavily, but that was going fast, unfortunately. But now we've got some really good racing starting to come between the Corvettes and the bigger powerboard cars.
I'll tell you somebody who's really coming. George Del Cantro in that orange mid-year is him and Davey Hamilton have been working on that car, and that car is pristine.
It is, and he's really getting fast.
It's fun to watch him develop. He came in here from really with a Porsche background, and you know he jumped into Group 6 with both feet, and that's not an easy group to jump into.
No.
And he just continues to get better and better. It's really been just a super nice guy. Him and his family, Kingdom Racing, do so much for kids of all walks. Every race they seem to bring a big group of kids that make them, expose them to racing and give them a treat for the weekend. Just super people.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun being on the podium with them yesterday because Kingdom Racing's always really loud. And then with Davey Hamilton as the coach, we see him getting really fast, really quick. And I got to say, that Scott Borchetta there up at the front, and if he had been to grid about 30 seconds later, he would have been put to the back of the pack. He barely made it there. That's Scott Hawley there in that beautiful Jaguar E-Type. I was teasing them on the podium because he was racing with Jerry Robinson in that Viper, and I said, usually Jaguars eat snakes. And Jerry Robinson in the Viper said, not today, and it looks like it might not today also.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what, Scott Hawley's one of the best vintage racers in the country, and his equipment is top drawer. Again, there's such a cast of characters that race in this Group 6 from all walks, but they take a lot of pride in their machine, and it's just fun. This is our era. This is the era I grew up in, and it's just awesome to see these cars still being raced the way they should be.
Looking for, I'm seeing a lot of yellow flags. It doesn't look like a double yellow, but I saw that at 5 too. But I think we've got a double yellow listening to race control, and it looks like they're slowing down. Oh, 163 blew a motor.
So Scott Borchetta, as we get under yellow again here because of the incident a moment ago, and it was the black and gold. So who was that? You remember
that was Chris Zappa.
It was Chris Zappa. Okay, yeah.
And then
that's
the 163 is a split window Corvette. So Levi, what year would that car be? Split window Corvette. 63. See, Levi's learning about Corvettes.
Give that
and now
man
the
a
new Ben
cigar.
Cecil.
Yes.
That's good work, Levi.
Yeah, he learned that at Road America last year.
Well, you taught me it, but I forgot it.
It's the only year of the split window, and I think that is a very pretty vet. Did you own a split window?
Yes, sir, I did. Daytona Blue.
Here's the thought. Tony, you've seen so many cars. We've had entries up to 500 in the back. Is there a car that you'd really kind of like, oh, I wish I could get somebody in one of those? Or
a Lotus 11.
Yeah? Okay.
To
And
me,
that is really weird for me to hear from a Corvette guy.
Yeah?
That's his favorite car.
Why?
I'm sorry, it's the prettiest race car ever made.
Yeah.
And I am,
Colin
I got a
Chapman
bow
just
tied
smiled.
through and through, but a Lotus 11 to me looks like it's going fast when it's parked.
There you go.
It's just stunning lines on that car.
I like this Cougar.
That Cougar's cool.
Yeah, Gary Moore and that Cougar. Jeff Lindstrom from Griffin Motorsports. So he is Billy Griffin's crew chief
that's
in the
right.
GT class, and he's out here, and they both wrench on each other's cars. So I think Billy is his crew chief, and then he's Billy's crew chief.
Billy, of course, now in SGT.
Yeah, our GT champion from last year. There's George Del Canto right there. Beautiful Corvette. That is a really well-prepared race car.
Yeah, he's done great things with that car. Him and Davey Hamilton have really put their heart and soul into that car, and it just gets better and better.
I gotta tell a good Davey Hamilton story.
Go on.
We're at Indianapolis. My sons are with me. We're talking to the security guards outside the gate, and he drives in really fast in a pickup truck going backwards. But it's not backwards. He reversed the body. And it's so deceiving that the bed of the pickup truck is the front of the truck, and it looks, everybody waves him down like, you're going backwards, but he's not.
That's funny.
It's cool. It is a cool looking truck.
That's the sort of thing I would do. I'd love that. So we've got 14 minutes. We're under safety because one of the cars has gone off at the keyhole. And so Scott Borchetta having to kind of – that's probably the hardest thing in that Corvette is to keep it going slowly because it's full of grunt. Scott Borchetta was out there last night at Eldora, so he's a big fan of Ernie. And it's great that he has the time to jump in and get to Eldora and support the series. But obviously – enjoying it, as was. You were saying, who were you with last night, Ben? Watching it with?
Oh, we watched the SRX race as a staff.
Yeah.
Trans Am, FR, F4 staff. And then I texted Claudio Burton.
That's it.
And Tommy Dreesy, Simon Gregg, and Claudio Burton came in. And Tommy Dreesy, Simon Gregg are some of Ernie's biggest competitors, and they are yelling for him. Like Tommy Dreesy's getting animated and just
great.
like, get up there. So it was pretty neat. There's Michael Origer. Look at that. He's really moved himself up there. He's probably loving this restart. Jim Heck. There's just some really cool cars in this group.
Yeah, we do have quite a few American muscle cars, but we've also got some Jaguars out there as well. The XKE is out there with Philip Taxman. An unfortunate name if you're a racer.
Yeah, unless you work for the IRS.
Well, true.
It's
we got a
Beatles
TVR
song,
Tuscan
though.
out. Yeah, we got a TVR Tuscan. And that's the one we think the black and gold of Christopher Zappa.
I think it's a Vixen.
Oh,
Let me see. Where is he? No, you're right. It's a Tuscan. Yeah.
yeah. All right. I always bow to your better knowledge.
No, but I want to make sure because the trolls will come out if we get it wrong.
That's Tom Wergarts in the Corvette, the red number 9 you're looking at right now. I like the car in front, this beautiful car right here. The white number 11. Or 111, I think it is.
He races with us, Tom there in that number 9. He was with us just a few weeks ago at Road America in Mid-Ohio. He's from Chicago. The Bears. And he has a lot of fun. Now, something to watch out for. I'm hearing reports in my right ear that there might be a little bit of 9 at the apex, or a little bit of oil at the apex of 9, which is where they're going at the top left of the screen. That's right there in the middle of the screen, right there over the hill. So it's a blind corner.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
So we really got to
That's
watch
not
out
good.
for that.
Yeah.
But that's it wasn't confirmed. I think during the pace car, a safety worker went out there, rubbed his foot against it, and didn't feel it.
Okay, well, we're going to be green next time by, so we'll soon find out how things are, but they wouldn't go green unless it were
How
safe.
far up has he moved?
So Origer is
Good restart by the Jaguar.
Holly's going after him right now.
There you go. Into turn 1, under the bridge at
Jerry
Mid-Ohio.
Robinson held him off. Scott made the move. He ran out of room.
Yeah. Good restart, though. Everybody cleanly through.
John DeGainer's quick as they come in that car.
Yeah, he is. That's John DeGainer and that Devin there. And then you'll see the headlights on. That's Michael Origer, who has
He's coming.
really moved up.
He is coming.
Now, why did he start at the back? You told me already, but
He broke yesterday, so
okay.
he could start its finishing position,
Gotcha.
so he had to start dead last.
And he broke his camshaft, which is detrimental. So he's in his buddy's car, Ricky Bobby Gee, who couldn't be here because he's making Chips Ahoy cookies. That's what he does
Good
in
name.
real life. Yeah, and there's Dennis Altoff there and Dr. Frank Markham's number 1-5 Cobra.
that's
And
lovely.
Dennis Altoff in a Cobra is pretty much unstoppable, so look for him to really move up.
Oof.
Oh, and then there was side-by-side there going into 5 with the Mustang of Monty Shelton. That's a beautiful car. And you know what's funny about Frank Markham? He brings a different car. He was in a Falcon. He's been in a Volvo with us. He's got Cobras. He's got the Hooters, NASCAR car. So you never know what Frank Markham's going to bring to the table. Just a great eclectic mix of cars.
Do you, when you're not, when you have quiet time, when you're out fishing, do you ever think of any other groups? Do you ever think, what about a group with this? I mean, is there anything to come? I mean, you've got such a great diversity now.
I love them all. The only thing I wouldn't want to drive, I wouldn't feel comfortable in an open wheel car.
No, I don't mean driving. I mean bringing a new group, a different group.
Oh.
Something that we may not have seen here to add to the fold.
Yeah, no, I mean, we cover from pre-war right up
Yeah.
to modern day prototypes right now, so we pretty much run the gamut.
Yeah.
But what I've been experimenting with is having specialized featured mark where they come race as my guest for the weekend. So
Yeah.
we'll have, like, at the Glen, we're going to have Alfa Romeo and have an Alfa Romeo only race.
A bit like we did with the Trans Am, but you're talking more one make.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, you'll see me do more and more of that. And,
That's a good idea.
That's what makes Speed Tour special, is that I can keep the show fresh.
Yep.
You're not going to see the same thing on any given weekend. You're going to see a mix. And I think
the clubs like to do that, don't
Oh,
they? Because
my God, they love it.
they all like the camaraderie of their club.
I mean, last year at this race, we had 60 triumphs here for the Kasner Cup. We had a year.
Yes, I
here.
remember it.
I had Corvairs here. We're at 23 or 24 Corvairs on track at the same time. So we're always layering in different things. This year we didn't do that, largely because I had FR and F4 join us, and we couldn't fit any more in the schedule. But at Watkins later on this year, we have an Alfa Romeo reunion. At Utah, we were going to have a Volvo and a separate race reunion for Lotus. Yeah, a Volvo reunion, which I've done here before.
I bet not many people have done that.
You'll see 20 to 25 Volvos,
That's cool, though.
which you don't think of a Volvo as
No, it's a race car, but in touring car terms in Europe, they've done very well. Yeah.
We've done Mustang, we've done Corvette, which you would expect. But I love when we do a Lotus or something else. We've done really just about everything out there. But we'll do MGs in the Collier Cup at Watkins. So we really try to mix it up. There's something for everybody.
Very cool.
Tercilla there, the other Griffin Motorsports car in that 022. Renee Tercilla. And then we saw Stanley Crawford in that beautiful Martini Porsche get around John Cloud. And that's Brian Thomas Hines there with that snorkel on top of that Mustang. Rick Ortman, Group 10 champion from a few years back. He came to our road racing school and then won the championship that same year.
Look at Ken Twaits, what he's done from his racing school all the way to Trans Am of the big class.
Yeah, we've made a lot of champions in all kinds of different groups out of that racing school. It's a lot of fun. That's Rick. Rick actually in the 60s and 70s raced in the Trans Am series.
Okay.
And some of those old films that we've shared on our social media, he's in it. And here he is back racing again with us in Group 12 in SVRA. John DeGainer and Scott Hawley are having quite a battle, as is Mike Origer. So Mike Origer in our Group 6.
Yeah, he's coming through, isn't he?
Yeah,
Nicely.
Michael Origer would be in at AP, and then Scott Hawley. So DeGainer's in 6 GT, Scott Hawley's in 6 BP, and Michael Origer's in 6 AP, and they're going to be going at it here.
How many slots has he moved up already?
All of them but
man,
5.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah, 20 slots. That's pretty good. His wife Steph is here watching. She's spotting and yelling at him on the radio, I'm sure.
And think about this, there was a yellow in between.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
And he got 20 of them.
That's pretty good.
Pretty impressive. So we're watching Group 6 and Group 12B.
And they're
Excuse me,
clean.
Group 12A.
Yeah.
You know, people underestimate how good these drivers are. It's, you know, in professional racing, a little contact, pushing and shoving is accepted. In vintage racing, it is not.
No, it's
It
not.
is much harder to go this fast and not touch and not lean on each other. And the skill level that it takes to drive that hard, that fast, and not tear each other up. These are some
You know,
phenomenal drivers.
it's a point that Ben's made to me in the Miatas, because he said that, you know, that people don't look at Miatas as classic cars. And when they first arrived, they were like expecting the bumping and bruising that you see in the Cup series, the modern day series. But these guys do a heck of a job of doing classic racing in Miatas, which, you know, is well known for its bumping and bruising. But with these cars, which many of which are priceless, in certainly in the owner's mind, you know, you really don't want to harm them. And you're right, the skill level is massive, massive.
Voyager's making a move on the Gainer.
Yep. That's Corey Barak there, the number 33 Mustang. I like those fastback.
Yeah, fastback. I
Mustangs.
do like those. Yeah, I got a friend in Australia with one of those. Bought it here in Wisconsin and then had it shipped over and rebuilt it in Melbourne. Beautiful day here at Mid-Ohio. You're watching SVRA. More action coming up. We've got the feature race of TA, XGT, SGT, and GT coming up. But we continue our 6 and 12A coverage. Just 4 minutes
Levi
left.
did that. I'm pointing out some signs here in our shots that my son Levi put up while we were here. John Cloud, look at this. Is this not just different eras of Mustangs? Different
Yes.
iterations of Mustangs, all racing side by side.
Yeah.
Jim Farley would really like that shot right there. I'm going for John Cloud, though.
John
We're not
got-
supposed to play favorites, but I'm going to
John
right now.
got him back.
Yeah.
High above the Mid-Ohio circuit. Great out, and some great shows going
Look,
on, Tony. That's another side of this that people don't perhaps think about. We're showing what's happening on track. There's a bunch of stuff going on off track. Shows.
Oh my
cars.
God, we got a huge car show here. The fans get to go out. If you're in the car show, you could drive during lunch and experience the track.
Oreger was side by side there with John DeGainer, and look at that beautiful Jaguar with the Jaguar on the side, and that's the bubble top 2+2. Not many people race that.
It's a pretty car.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, I picked out my car.
What's that?
It's the one in front of this Jaguar, that light blue 36. I love it. I just like the colors of it.
Yeah, that's Scott Shadle.
Yeah.
I was joking with him yesterday on the podium that it's SVRA blue, so he gets a second off his qualifying time. I hope we get to the leader fight there with Oreger and DeGainer and Holly, because that's really heating up. I think we can see it. Not there. We did have a great car show here Saturday and Sunday.
Yes.
All right, I have to go to the podium, gentlemen, so excuse me.
All right, off you go, Ben. And Tony and I will see Scott Borchetta, who is becoming fastly an SVRA star, if he already wasn't, but he's already doing such a great job in TA2, and he's already been a Group 6 champion in the past. And again, we'll take the checkered flag as he is leading by a country mile yet again. I'm trying to look at the gap that he's already pulled out as he heads towards the keyhole, which is 2 minutes to go. He sent me a picture of his first kart with those lightning bolts on. Because I said, oh yeah, because I was wearing a Johnny Lightning hat one time. And he goes, oh, good, this is my whole thing. I've had the lightning stripes on the you know, the Enza lightning stripes on my car for ages. And the next day I get this email with him as like a little 3-year-old in his go-kart. So
he is a huge Unser fan.
yeah.
And you know, he has an original Johnny Lightning crew shirt that
Nice.
he wore to the 500 this year and got a picture with Al Senior.
That's great.
So he showed me that yesterday. He was pretty excited. He's such a fan. He's such an enthusiast.
Yeah.
He's so good for the sport. I mean, He really is passionate about motorsports, and he people don't realize how much that man does behind the scenes for the good of young drivers coming up through, helping them.
I'm beginning to understand that the more I get to know him.
There's a lot going on behind the curtain that people don't realize that he's doing for the sport. It's
well, it was interesting talking to Scott Lagacy yesterday, who has done a little bit of mentoring and helping him driving. He was waxing rhapsodic, saying just amazing how hard the guy works at his racing career.
Yeah. He takes the racecraft side of this very serious, and I mean hours on the simulator and focus and prep of the car, the whole element, prep of himself, the mental studying of the racing craft, and he's coming here to win, and he's obviously winning a lot at SVRA, but he's also a serious contender now, more weekends than not, with TA2, which is loaded with talent from top to bottom.
Already had a podium, and which is pretty impressive. I think a couple of years ago at Brainerd, and very impressive indeed. So we're coming down to the closing stages of this one. Jerry Robertson now getting closer to the end with that Dodge Viper in the all green, and then, as we mentioned, Scott Shadle just behind him.
Scott Howley did get around him after all. They had a great battle for a long time. Scott finally got him. I mean, but the thing is, look how clean this racing is. And
yes.
I mean, they were fighting. Orangers just continues to pounce. He's just flying. That's another car that's super well prepared, and they are just great drivers.
It looks brand new, doesn't it?
Just a fantastic driver.
Yeah, you could see the smoothness he's putting in there. There's a lot more power that he could put down, especially through the S's, but very controlled.
And doing that on those tires, old school tires, Bowply tires, instead of radials, they were slicks. They put it down, and they slip and slide. They don't have the grip you would think they'd have. But those guys drive the daylights out of those cars.
So Scott Borchetta has put in a best time of 1:32.6, and that for him, I think, is really what he'll be looking at. He loves to see how, if he can improve and try to be the fastest, and he's got a gap now of over 17 seconds. That's kind of like his standard. He's like 17, 16, 17, 18 seconds he likes to be ahead.
He's super talented.
On the last lap then here in our Group 6 and 12A SVRA groups. Coming up next, we've got our lunch break, and then we'll get into the feature race, which will be the TA, XGT, and SGT. So don't go away. Stay with us on the live stream for that. And we're glad that you've joined us on the live stream. And alongside me, Tony Perella. And more great racing. Is this the most events you've had in a year?
Yes, this year we'll end up doing 18 events. Even in spite of COVID. So I feel blessed. We really have come through this as well as could be expected. We're fortunate to, it was a year ago we were testing the waters and masking up, and to finally be back here, what I would consider this has really been the first normal weekend since COVID hit. And it's just, fans are out in droves. Everybody's having a good time. The vaccinations obviously are working, and our team's chomping at the bit to keep the momentum going now. It's great. Yeah,
and actually just reminds me, wants me to shout out a quick, as Scott Borchetta does cross the line and take the victory, but a shout out to Lime Rock, who in the middle of torrential rain were doing COVID shots for the crowd. Fantastic stuff to see the healthcare people there as we kind of join in the responsibility of looking after both our fans and the people involved in SVRA and Trans Am. So yeah, delighted. Just want to shout out to those guys at Lime Rock putting on a great event.
Oranger had a heck of a race to start from the back.
Yeah.
He certainly made a charge. Great job. He he put on a show.
He did.
He had the driver of the race.
Yep, absolutely. Waving to the crowd as well. He should. Second place from the back in that 696. Gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous Corvette. Brilliant.
Well, Jonathan, thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming in, Tony.
It's always good to see you, my friend. Thanks.
Go and enjoy the TA race. I'm sure it'll be. Can Ernie? I guess he's going to have to come from the back, is he?
Yeah, he'll need to. I don't know how they're going to handle it because he didn't qualify because he was down. There is a rule that if you approach the drivers ahead of you in other classes,
Okay.
Can I go ahead of you? If they say yes, it's great. If they say no, then you take your medicine. I don't know if they're doing that or not, but either way, by the time this 100 miles is over with, he'll be in the thick of it. He's terrific.
Yeah, exactly. My thanks to Tony Perella. Let's have a look at the results then for Group 6 and Group 12A. Scott Borchetta with another victory, 20 seconds. And the man, Auger, coming back from the back of the field, I should say, to second place. Jonathan De Gaynor in third with the Devlin Evolution. Scott Holly in that Jaguar XKE, a good run by him in fourth place. Jerry Robinson fifth, Dodge Viper, and Scott Shadle in that Chevrolet Camaro. Gary Moore, George Del Canto, Jeff Lindstrom in ninth, and James Heck rounding out the top 10 in that Chevrolet Corvette.